this doesn't work. It's going in right now. All right, just give it a couple of minutes. Good morning, good afternoon. Hope everyone's having a good day. I'm here today doing another interview on IT, and let me share this real quick on my Discord, because this doesn't go on Discord. Give me a second. I don't want to mispronounce your name, because sometimes people their names are said incorrectly. Is it Henri, or am I saying that correct? Yeah, that. I remember you talked about that. I remember you said that. Oh, people don't know how to say my name correctly, so I don't want to mess up your name. And let me just share this real quick. Give me a second, just so people are aware that I'm on. If you don't know anything about me, I'm on like 45 different Discords. So that's what I mean.
Man, all I got is my one Slack space.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this to everyone. So just bear with me.
Okay, I'm liking this now. I'm gonna share this on Twitter and LinkedIn for you. Cool. Actually, watch this. That's why I use Buffer. So now
use Buffer.
Yeah. So Buffer's gonna help me share this out to everybody.
Cool. Yeah, I'm about to share it in a few more places, and then we'll get started after that, because I know people have been waiting for this one actually. So share that quick over here. And I got one more place I want to share it at.
Yeah, I can just share now.
How's your day been?
It's been good, man. Let me make this big. That's why I was doing that. Okay, I just shared it on here.
All right, cool. Got a bunch of people showing up right now. Oh, I got Simon here. Hey, Simon. Cool. All right. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, what do you do now? And I guess I know you're a SOC manager. Is that right, or am I incorrect?
So I actually am a person who manages incidents now, but the title that they gave it, like the job offer sheet, is like incident response manager. But I think it really just means like, you manage incidents. I don't have any people reporting to me currently.
Got it.
Yeah. Even right now, though, I'm working like in loop with them with the incidents, but like when I started late last year, Log4j happened. I was fairly new, so they didn't really let me get the action on that. Then everybody pretty much worldwide just finished the spring. I think it was spring 4, similar to the Log4j, and I didn't really get any action on that because I was on vacation when that happened. So I've mostly been just working on like one of our big implementation projects. We're switching into a new ticketing system. And since I've worked with said ticketing system for years, they brought me in for a little bit of that with the expertise on how it can be utilized better and helping, develop some workflows. Well, like one of our biggest things right now is since I'm on the IR team, is when users like report phishing. So we're working on that as well too. When they do that little form, does it go to the correct categories? If it's marked by a certain person, only this group needs to see it, and so forth and so forth. And then outside of that, I've just been working different alerts, a lot of phishing alerts, and some of the same stuff I used to work at my last company. But that's kind of what I've been doing the beginning part of this year.
I was gonna let me bug you a little bit, because you're like we're going forward, not backwards, and I have to go backwards again. So
it's cool. It's cool.
Tell me a little bit about your background. Like how'd you get started in IT, and what made you get into IT? Because a lot of people have different unique backgrounds. What's your background, or what's your story?
Oh, sure thing. I'll try to give like the short version. If you want the longer version, I have like my first 2 videos on my channel will kind of like summarize this. But initially, I went to college and I thought I was going to be an architect. Failed to realize that I'm not that skilled at drawing, or as they call it, drafting, and all the other stuff that these people are doing. Combine that with them sleeping in the in the like building Hell Hall. That's the architect building. They were like sleeping in there working on projects. I said, I don't want to do that. So I went back to the drawing board and thought about stuff that I like to do. And I always like video games and messing with my grandma's computer or my computer. I think even at that time, even though it was small, but I think I had added like some more USBs to the back of like our computer at home. And I remember I successfully software engineer my one of my good friends in high school. So I was like, what can I do? Went to my advisor, and then I went to the College of Business, and I saw this little chart with like IT jobs and potential salaries. This was back in late 2010 or early 2011. And I saw that's okay. Yeah, I want to do that because I did always want a job I could work from home. That started, and then things kind of just started clicking a little bit for me. I went from there to working with our College of Business, like our IT department. So my boss like pretty much designed like all the network, all the smart tools the professors use with the podiums and all the different things. He set everything and all that up. And we worked for him. So we would go help our professors when they couldn't fix something like in real time. So like one of my first jobs for like a year and almost like 2 years doing IT stuff was just support with like a technology assistant. Then once I graduated in 2013, I was trying to find a job. Got my first Helpdesk gig. And that was with the TSA. So I ended up getting the clearance for that. And I did that for 2 years. I always tell everybody, even in my books and everything, like, that foundation of like what I have now was set, by me doing those 2 years of Helpdesk. And I think I did have the luxury of going to a Helpdesk that like was structured, that actually like shows you different things that, benefited me to where I was able to get to like where I am in my career now. I don't know if that did did justice for the background. If not, I could go a little.
No,
deeper.
that did do justice. How was like, I'm gonna go back a little bit. How was Helpdesk? Because a lot of people have good experiences and a lot of people have bad experiences in Helpdesk. And how was it for you? Because the thing is that also what I always preach is that Helpdesk is not created equal, because some jobs you have access to Active Directory, and then some companies you have access to absolutely nothing, and you can't do Active Directory. So how was it for you?
So Helpdesk was it's mixed reviews. For the most part, when I started off, it was cool. I think we started off using what was it, NetIQ, I think we were using NetIQ, and most of our things was like password resets, Outlook issues. Had a couple of things where like back then we used to use Anacam for their two-factor stuff for people trying to use Outlook on the web. Printer issues where they're not connected to their printer, they can't connect to their shared network drive. It was most stuff like that until we started supporting the federal air marshals and all those. And, we switched from Bez. So I used to have like Bez on my resume for BlackBerry. What's the enterprise server?
Yeah, best 10 server. I remember that. I used to do that too. I remember that.
Yeah, then we switched from Bez, and then we went to Good. So Good for mobile. So everybody started switching to the iPhones, and we had to make documentation on that. I mean, it was pretty cool. But funny thing is, like, when they flipped the switch for the help the federal air marshals, it was like they just told us to help them. We didn't have many documentation. So it's like that's probably like the hardest thing, even in my career, over like other stuff I've dealt with, is like somebody's asking you something, but you have no idea what they're looking at, what it looks like. And they're getting frustrated. You're getting frustrated. It's like, well, they put us in a bad predicament because they just launched this stuff on us. So now our background is to ask the important questions, trying to figure out how we can help, and calling like our, higher ups just to say, hey, this guy said he can't, access the internet or whatever with his phone, which is super important for federal air marshals. I think that's like probably one of the most important things, we did. And just to take a step back for those that missed that I said something about TSA, like we pretty much supported like all the airports like worldwide, not the actual companies like that flew the airplanes, but the actual airports. So the screeners, all the other people that you don't see that are behind the scenes that you don't see that work at the airport, like we supported all those guys. Because one of the biggest moves that we did when I was working Helpdesk was we went from just username and password to users using PIF cards, which I like. I like smart cards. I think, except when people forget them. If you make the policy that they only can log on to smart card, then they have to call in and get their machine relaxed for 24 hours, 3 days, however long they say they may or may not have it. But not to bore everybody. But my experience with Helpdesk was like I said, good and bad. It was only bad because of I found out early on that Helpdesk that we were the ones that probably did most of the work for like that whole contract, but we got paid the least. So that was one of my biggest complaints with it, and the fact that they started to stymie my growth and not let me do other things. So those are like the bad parts of it. I mean, a couple of times you had it where people, were being lazy and you would be doing more calls. And then I saw your thing the other day. Yours used to do like 1,200 tickets a month.
Yep, that's correct.
I think on a good day, I might have did a good month, 700 or 800. Because ours should be like 30, 35. It used to depend. I started learning how to finesse the game instead of getting my stuff done fast. I would kind of get in that mark to where I wasn't breaking SLA, but I was keeping them on long enough to help them out. Because sometimes I would do my tickets fast. And I'm still looking at somebody else. I did like 3 or 4 calls and that's not the same one. I was like, what are you over there doing? Why every time I go out right out of Ox 1, I'm having to talk to somebody? I think that's the only part when it starts getting like, if we could have just worked out of the queue, it'd probably been easier. Mm-hmm. I think that's the hardest part, like back to back, ringing in your ears. And at that time, I didn't used to want to even talk on the phone. Every time I had a girlfriend. So sometimes they want to talk when I get off. I'm like, look, I didn't talk to people all day. I don't feel like talking. Let's just text. And that used to be an issue, but I was like, you don't understand. I've been talking to people all day. I don't want to hold a phone to my ear. I don't want to do none of that. I want to go home and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But I met some great people at the help desk, learned some life lessons, learned how to move in corporate America in some ways, learned how grimy it could be. I had tried to move to different departments, had it in the bag. Because even there, I didn't know what I do now, but as far as networking, but I was making the right type of friends, and where I pretty much was finna have a job with the messaging department. That meant less work and more money. And my managers, asked my interview and act like they didn't know they did it. But I was friends with the HR person, with a recruiter. She told me like, yeah, they extra interview. And they never once tried to say, well, we know you trying to move around. Here's a little pay bump, for you to stay with us. Because right now we can't let people leave because the OPM at that time, OPM got hacked. So it was hard for them to get clearances and hard to get people in. They never once came and said that to me. Had they said that, it might have been a little bit different. So that's a little bit of the dark side of some of the stuff I experienced when I was doing Helpdesk.
No, I agree with you. So in Helpdesk can be like nice and beautiful, or Helpdesk can be like very grueling and very I guess you say the word like you get pounded with phone calls. So right. you get really destroyed with phone calls, and then you don't want to be on the phone anymore. You don't even want to see a computer, to be honest with you, when you're doing Helpdesk. So right. It could be good or it could be bad. So depending on the company you're in, like it could be extremely overwhelming or it could be very relaxed and laid back. And that's how it is with Helpdesk. And tell me though, like if you had to, like, do you recommend Helpdesk for everyone, or is it like a yes or no, or what are your thoughts on that for somebody brand new?
I don't recommend it for everyone because I think Helpdesk should be based on temperament. I don't think everybody's a people person. Yes. Like if they have to talk to people, I don't recommend it for them because some people just don't need to be talking to people. Just like I feel some people don't need to be nurses, regardless if you're gonna make a lot of money. Now, if they're working on a queue, they don't have to interact with people. Sure. I like to recommend it, even though it's not, a preference to like get into security, like for certain roles, like especially being a SOC analyst. I do recommend like a year of Helpdesk because for a simple fact, you'll have people who've never worked Helpdesk and we'll get an alert that says someone PS exec and they don't know what it is. But in Helpdesk, I knew, hey, we're using PS exec to remote in. But if you don't know even something small like that, you're stuck for a while until somebody comes help you, or you actually have to go back and research, what it is and should this person be using PS exec. And there are a lot of little other processes like window operations that happen like when you're doing triage and SOC alerts. So having that background with like a little bit of networking, and that's what you end up kind of doing a little bit. If you're in a good help desk, I always tell people like you said, we were talking about earlier, you have like a good help desk where you get like a good mix of skills where you're technically just about doing sysadmin work to where then you have like bad help desk where you're really not doing anything. You just taking some calls and you may be able to reset a password here or there, but you're not learning anything. So those type of help desks I don't recommend. I recommend the ones that's going to let you learn. Like you always talk about like setting up like Exchange servers or I learned all the little back end, like little commands you could do. Like back in the day, I just thought about it. Now that we have Microsoft Teams, we used to use what was it? Office Communicator. So before it was Teams, it used to be Office Communicator and Skype.
I was gonna
And
say Skype.
yeah, and we would use that to remote in. We had these our admin accounts were called C accounts. So we had C accounts. You couldn't use your C account on an Office Communicator. You had to remote in the back way. It wasn't through RDP or something else. And then we moved from doing remote like that through RDP. Then we used to use Exedium, and then we would remote in and do other little things. And like honestly, like that's why I said like the bad part was just the people part, the management part of the help desk. The good part was like the actual skills and stuff. Or like even stuff I suggest now, like I was like, hey, why we just I'm not here, but like one of my old companies supporting our clients. Hey, why these people just get to download what they want? Why they don't have to put in a software request to where help desk actually installs it for them? Like simple stuff that can help your network be safe. I learned when I was doing help desk because people couldn't just install anything. They had to put software requests in, business justification, and then we had to have it tested out already, and then we install it for them.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's how it is with working help desk. And when you're and this is the other thing too, we're talking about security, right? The other thing is that when you're working help desk, like this is the reason why you get that prompt, the UAC prompt, right? Where you get like you have to put your admin rights in there and you install something. And then this is the reason why they have companies that they use ServiceNow, and you put in a software request in ServiceNow, and it goes to the proper channels, and then it gets approved by the manager or whoever it is. And then after that, you could install it. And it also depends on the company too, because sometimes what you do is you get a software request, it gets approved, and then it has to get packaged and deployed in SSCM if you're using SSCM, or you're using another application, third-party application. So some companies don't let you install anything through the website. So you have to actually go and download it through SSCM itself, through Software Center, and you have to go in there and install it that way. That's the only way you can install certain products and applications for security reasons. So definitely is important with that. And some big companies use Splunk. I know this is going a little bit off the topic, but some companies use Splunk. Some companies track what you do through Varonis. So any changes you make on Active Directory, you get Varonis in there, and basically they could see like, why the hell did you remove this guy from this Active Directory? Why is he? Did you remove him from
yeah. I can speak on that too. Yeah. We used to see all that in the SOC. Like that's the funny thing. The good thing about it is like people sometimes don't know, like, hey, just about everything you do on your company's machine is being logged. I'm talking about like a couple of weeks ago, I had to help our insider threat team. They were working on some case and they need to see it's a list of about 58 people. What did they print off, year to date? So I had to create a query on Splunk and make a report. Well, actually not a report, just make the query on Splunk with everything they printed out, the printer model, the pages, what was they printed out. And I exported that thing. and that's the thing, people understand, like all that stuff is being tracked. So really nothing, like if it's nothing you want anybody to hear, see, or whatever, don't do it on your company's machine because it's there and we always have access to it. We would see people making changes. That's the thing of why of having a background in help desk or something like that. Like, why is this regular person, like this person is a cook or a chef? Like, what are they doing with PS Exec? Why are they making all these changes? We see all these different Windows events with them. Normally you see just the log on or the failed log on and Windows events codes with them. And then all of a sudden you start seeing, other things. That's a red flag for you to actually just investigate that some more, because they shouldn't be able to. Maybe some type of, lateral movement has happened on their account or privilege escalation that they're doing something not supposed to do. Or you didn't get these people to, what's it called? I think it's least privilege for their account. So they shouldn't be able to download anything. So yeah, it's definitely all on there. All the different tools, all the different SIM tools they're bringing in. You even have now they build out user behavior analytics. So like we were just talking about now with a user doing something that's out of the ordinary of their account, that software used by machine learning and AI will say, hey, this person normally logs in at 5 a.m. and logs out at 3 p.m. What are they doing logging in at 12 a.m.? What are they doing? They've been doing this like the last 3 weeks. That's going to make them look at something like, what are they doing? And then say, oh, okay, they're little by little, they are, exfiltrating data. And, a smart person is going to do it small to where it don't alarm anything. Because most of the time we'll have an alert like for like AWS. Hey, this person is moving 5 gigs of data out of this bucket or whatever. You got to check to see it says justified by the owner or whatever. What's a business use case for it? But somebody else that's like actual attacker isn't going to do that because they're going to alarm the systems. They're going to do it small. So you have to figure out how you're going to play chess with them and catch them before it's too late.
Yeah, it was with IT now and security. Like security is so big right now, and a lot of places are hiring for security, and that's because they don't want to lose money. And there's like so many things that go into playing behind the scenes. Like an example of that would be like how we block flash drives and floppy disk, right, in CDs, and we do that for intended purposes of not installing viruses or malware on someone's computer. That's the reason why you have group policy and you have all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, and when it comes to help desk, again, like when you're doing help desk, and if you know about group policy, and that's the reason why we create account lockout threshold, so your account gets locked out after 3 attempts, or your password has to be 12 characters, or your password gets expired after a certain amount of days or a certain amount of months and weeks. If you know that, that's like basic stuff. So obviously, like, and help desk, that's basic stuff. But like people don't understand, like, why is it important that you know that? It's important that you set that up in your company, because you don't want people that they could just keep logging in over and over again, and there's no group policy in place. So it's very important for anyone that's watching, and that's why I talk about that, and I talk about all the other stuff.
That just remind me of one like the little commands. I think most of the time I go to was to flush the DNS cache, update GPO, NS lookup ping. It's like a short amount. We didn't have to do too many. Now we did have this little script that we would run. I can't remember if that was the one for the PS exec, or we were running that script to fix their Z drive at the time. But yeah, like I said, I'm able to tell, like I tell people all the time, like, you know, if you do want to get in security and you're doing help desk right now, do not feel bad. You'll get there eventually, but when you finally get your shot, you're gonna be better than everybody else because of your background, and that's the truth.
Someone donated a super chat. Thank you, Trey. Thank you, Antoine. Just shout out to Kev and Henry. Shout out to Kev and Henry, like they did to Tech.
Shout out to Antoine, man.
Shout out to you guys, man. I was gonna say, so what do you? I guess, and this is gonna be like the next question. Like what did you do to transition from help desk to cybersecurity? This is like the Kevin, the secret ingredient, or the Kevin sauce, because everyone wants to know, like, how'd you get into security if you came out of help desk? Because what happens is, and I don't want to make this a whole long interview, but what happens is people get stuck in help desk, and they get stuck and they don't do anything. They get too comfortable in help desk, and then they don't want to go into another career or another role that pays more money and actually is a lot better for them. So how did you get out of help desk? Because people trying to get out of help desk.
I forced my way out. I was in at the time I was in Bossier City. It wasn't that many opportunities for me to do anything security related. The place that I worked at, the company I worked at, was pretty much now they're General Dynamics out there. So they were like the only place you could really get those type of jobs at. I actually had a brief story that they started their internal SOC there, and they actually wanted me to be on the SOC. But yet again, my managers, kept me from being from there because I had all the qualifications. I had my Security Plus back in 2013, and I think at the time I was studying for a CEH, and that was a bad mistake. But what I did was I ended up getting a NOC position. So I know NOCs are like in between, almost eventually getting to a SOC, and I just leveraged that. Like we were using Splunk there, doing a lot of monitoring. So now it wasn't like super technical, but my background in help desk helped me out a lot because the manager there started really putting me in charge sometimes, like, hey, make sure you document all this incident because they're going to want to know the information, about this thing. Like when something goes down, they were in the payment card industry. So if we got an alert and something was down, it meant somebody not making money. So that's why it was so important. But I started taking those skills that I already had, and some of the skills that you already have is like a troubleshooting. You do know how to document, because documentation is super important when it comes to security. And I'm talking about from documentation for playbooks to documentation of your ticket. Think about it, you put the wrong number down for source IP and you've blocked the wrong thing. So all these things that we take for granted are small, but they can become big. The analyzing part, technically, I didn't have that down because I wasn't doing a lot of that. But that, if you have the capability to learn how to, do queries and kind of analyze traffic, you can. But most of us do it in our everyday life anyway. If you were to come home and whatever, every day you put something out by the front door or something like that, then you came home and it was moved or something like that, that's going to say, oh, let me look into this because this is weird. This is not what I typically see. That's typically how it goes when you work in an alert or something like that. Like, oh, this is not normal. It's weird. Let me look into it. You start looking around the house, looking inside the house. Then you find out, somebody's jiggled on the door, your doorknob's messed up, or somebody's probably came in. So it's pretty much similar like that. If you want to talk about, pretty much doing analysis on a high level, but except this time you're doing it on the network and you're poking around your different sources and source types, through Splunk or QRadar, or you got Elastic, ArcSight, which I hope is like dying soon, and you got other SIEMs out there. So that's what you'll do. But truth be told, I tell people it's like a lot of hard work and luck. What happened was I was on Intel's, at the time it was Intel's career site. I signed up for, you apply to jobs and say, hey, do you want to be in the talent notification list or whatever? Did that. They said, hey, we're having a job fair. So I signed up for that. I was looking at it. I think I asked the recruiter when I responded, hey, they're gonna be hiring for security positions. She was like, yeah. And when she told me when the job fair was, it was like a day we were having something at work. So I dressed up pretty nice that day, and I left the work function at my current job, and then I drove there, met with technically he wasn't my hiring manager, but at the time I thought he was gonna be the manager, and talked to him a bit, gave him my resume, checked up with him. I think that might have been like October or something. Checked up in with that December, it was like December 2016 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Had my interview, didn't hear anything about, sent him an email, and but ended up happening, I think I sent him an email in February, and then my actual hiring manager emailed me while I was at LA Fitness playing ball next, could I come in and talk? And that's really how I got my first shot. So it's putting myself in position to land those roles, because I only took the knock role. The knock role is in Dallas, Texas, so I'm still in DFW right now. I only took that role to let people know, hey, I stay out here in this area, and I took it to prepare myself to get a security role. And I knew that knock role was going to look just a tad bit better than Helpdesk analyst. But if I knew, well, actually back then, I think my resume said service desk, because they called us like the service desk. So they're, they're kind of interchangeable. But if I knew what I know now, I probably would change the title, because based on some of the things I was doing, it was like level 2, help desk or whatever. However words you want to clean it up with. Like I tell people now, when I'm looking at their reviewing their resume, it's like, oh, this is admin work. Change this from help desk to sysadmin, only because what you're doing actually is the same as sysadmins do. But if you don't, I wouldn't tell you to change it.
No, I agree with you, because sometimes titles can help you or titles can destroy you. So if you have a bad title and your title sucks, then people won't take you seriously. So when you go to the job market and you apply for a job and you have a bad job title, people are like, man, this guy just knows help desk stuff. Why the hell should I hire him for this other role? So they go based on that. So sometimes you can change your titles, because sometimes titles are very misleading too. Like you have I go into a whole conversation about that for another day, but basically titles are very misleading. Like it's like, oh, you're called this, and then you call this, and you're actually not doing this.
Oh yeah, definitely. All the time, I would see people that did help desk, but then they'll change to like security analyst or something like that. It was like, bro, you do help desk, which is totally fine. But if I can see through that, recruiter can see through that, hiring manager, they can see through that, you're already coming off as being dishonest. It's not a good look. Yeah,
exactly. And I guess you said you did Security Plus. What's your thoughts on Security Plus? And if you're gonna get in, obviously, I would like to hear your opinion on Security Plus, because the thing is that some people don't like it. Some people like it, and some government jobs ask for it. So what's your opinion on Security Plus?
I still think it's a great cert. I think it's a great foundational cert. I think it's the first cert you need, and you don't really need any more security certs after that if you're just trying to break in. Because it exposes you to a different, a wealth of knowledge. Like we were talking about earlier, it's like, it's very high level, but it lets you be able to understand whatever somebody may be talking about in at a job when you do get the job. I think one of my coworkers now, it's like her first cybersecurity job. They have like a banking background. And they was like, oh yeah, I remember looking at some of this stuff in the Security Plus book. I was like, yeah, that's why. But it'll click. But I think it is necessary. I'm not gonna say it's necessary because you can get a job without one. If you know how to do the skills in a job, you can get a job without Security Plus. But for those who don't, it will help bring you up to speed and help you understand and open your mind. Just like we were talking about earlier. I normally tell people, like in my book, they'll get Security Plus, and then you don't necessarily have to take Network Plus, but just understand networking and then get a cloud certification. And those really should be like the only certs you get starting off, just because that's just enough. And then start working on the skills, start labbing, and everything else. That's the way that I tell people now. Like I don't tell people like oh yeah, go get all these certs and then yeah, you'll get a job and try to get that CISSP. I'm like, no, because you only really need the CSSP if you're going to be like either a consultant or most of the time like management director level where you're actually really doing things with it. If not, if you're doing more technical stuff, then you might not even need the CSSP at that time unless you're just trying to use it to leverage to get some more money, which works sometimes, but not all the time.
No, I agree with you. And sometimes having a lot of certs, it actually hurts your resume if you have a lot of certs on, because people will assume that you memorize questions and answers to take the exam on a certification. They think that you just memorize the answers. Like anyone could do that. Like I could go here and memorize all the answers for a question and then take the cert. So
right.
It's
and
good
not only that, it'll also get you interview harsher. If you're overselling yourself, oh, okay, this dude has OSCP, he has CEH and Sec Plus. Oh, okay, this dude, he's an expert. He should be principal level. Let's grill him. And just for you, like, ooh, well, what? Can you say it again? Just be honest. Like I'm honest in interviews now. Like when I talk to recruiters, they say, oh, you got, coding a background, you know how to code, you know script. No, I do not. I'm not good at that. I'll tell them. I get no benefit to lie about it. And let's say, for instance, I do get the job and now I actually have to perform. I got a bullseye on my back. It's like, hey, well, this dude told us he can do this and he can't.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes you look bad too. Like you go to the job market, you go for a job, and like, man, you have that on your resume. You don't even know how to do this.
Right. Instead of you just being honest and saying, hey, it's not the best thing to do, but I can learn. I can do everything else. I just don't know how to do this. It's totally fine.
Yeah, and I say the same thing. Like if you go for a job interview and you don't need to know everything that's in the job description. Like you can know just some of it and that's it, and you'll be fine. And then the rest of it, they could train you on it, or you could learn it on the job. So it's just not like at the end of the day, you don't got to learn everything. Like if you see a job description, you see job requirements posted on a job, you don't got to know everything. When I applied for my job, like they told me like, do you know how to do this? I'm like, I don't know how to do that. What about this? I don't know anything about that. And this, no, I don't know about that. And then what about this other stuff? Okay, I'm familiar with that. This other stuff, I don't know how to do it, but I could definitely Google the living hell out of that and figure out how to do it. And then they like that answer,
Right. So. And the funny thing is, I've recently just found this out. Basically, looking at like one of the things, like I got like interviews, so I'm scheduled up, and I was looking at some of the stuff, and a friend and I, we were breaking it down. He was like, "Yeah, this is similar to what I do." Then they started explaining it. I was like, "Oh, I used to do this with Optiv." And so one of the things also, if you're not sure about, like if you're doing a screening interview or you're talking to somebody, you're not sure about what it's really asking you to do, ask them to explain what terms mean, because you may be doing something and call it something differently. That would say, oh, I do know how to do that. So that was something I honestly recently, even though I'm a veteran in the game, I was like, hang on, wait. Oh, I was already doing it. So I just didn't know like the proper term for it because we were just doing it through meetings and emails.
And then and I like I'm gonna ask you another question. So what I guess I know you already answered it, but what is your advice for someone brand new to IT that wants to get started in IT and They're like, man, I don't know anything about IT. Like, how what would be your advice? Or actually, what would be your advice to yourself if you had to start over again? Like, what would be your advice for someone brand new that knows absolutely nothing about IT?
Yeah. First thing is research. And what we have the luxury of now that I didn't have years ago, or you didn't have years ago, is we have a thing called YouTube. So you can literally type in, what is IT, what is security, what is networking, and somebody will pop up, and then they'll start leading you through all these different videos of if you like find that interesting or not. Then you can start going on a site called LinkedIn. You can make a LinkedIn page. You can look up with people those titles or those roles and say, hey, I'm interested in, becoming a SOC analyst or a network engineer or something like that. I would love for you to connect with me. And then now everybody's going to answer, but some people will respond and just talk to you. And, you may even find a mentor. But the first thing first is the research part. I have some clients who've never really researched what they want to do, which makes, our consultation or something hard. But if you do the research, then we say, okay, boom. Now you know where you want to get to. Let's reverse engineer that and figure out what you need to do. And then you say, okay, most networking people have, their CCNA and they have this other certification. Then they know how to do all these different skills when it comes to networking. So you need to use something like Packet Tracer and all these other tools where you can lab so you can kind of talk about these things. Mm-hmm. And what I would tell myself is while I'm doing these things, I would document it, whether I'm making nice LinkedIn posts saying, hey, did you know that subnetting is blah, 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 and kind of try to explain it like in a way I would explain it to C-level people. Mm. Or you can start a Medium blog, your own website, and just start documenting all the different things you're doing, the different labs, even making some tutorials on what you're doing. What that's going to do is, one, make you look more marketable, but two, it's going to get you super comfortable with the information that you're learning. So when it comes to the interview, say, wait, I just wrote this up because I've been doing it play by play. So you're going to be able to regurgitate it the same way they're asking you, and they're going to be impressed by that. And most of these places, when you apply to jobs now, they already ask you like for different websites. So if you already have like your own blog or something like that, throw it on there. They actually do go read it. Like even now when I apply to something, even though I have like really one technical video on here, which is going to change. But I always I just give them the boss of the sock video of me actually just going through an hour alert or incident and backtracking, who is the person that actually, did pretty much started off the compromise. But so we go with, I think I was back on documentation. Then we have, I brought up LinkedIn earlier, but then we bring in like the networking piece of that, as well as finding those friends. Let's network with some of these recruiters, these hiring managers. Pay attention to those different job skills and titles, because sometimes stuff changes. So you might be working on something that's obsolete that nobody's using anymore. So you got to stay current with that. Join a couple of groups. I think that helps too. Like when you're first starting off, you don't have the ability to pretty much kind of can you say you stand on your own, but you don't have anybody who can vouch to say you can do what you say you can do. So it is good to probably find some people and befriend them to where they can speak on your behalf or refer you to a job. And even if like you weren't even doing a tech role at first, but if you got a current company, look internally, see what they have. That's a big way. A lot of people underestimate like actually doing some talking at their company and trying to move around like that. And if you want to go to school route, I say start with community college first. It's cheaper, and then a lot of those classes and courses are actually more vital to your role than what you'll be doing at a major university. And then they often lead in certifications. Now, I'm not saying certs are the end all be all, but it's better than you going to a 4-year that's probably not going to get you any certs. And with the community college thing, you can also do an internship, which is really the big thing right there. If you can get an internship, make a good impression, they can either keep on bringing you back or they can send you to different internships. You will be fine. Like that's probably one of the main things I would say, that like that's one of the ones that like brings us off for a person that's in college. Like learn some skills, get an internship early on. Like I'm talking about when you're a freshman, like try to get an internship. Try to do an internship for how many years you're gonna be in school? 2, 3, 4 years. Mm-hmm. Because now, shout out to Dave Cyberwalls, like those internships are like helping turn you into like a full-time employee where you can, a lot of these jobs are remote. So you could be doing school full-time and working with at least to little or no debt at all, But if you don't want to go that route, try WGU. Everybody raves about WGU. It. The core, I've looked at some of the course curriculums and it's in line with what you would be doing at a role in today's time with whatever you're interested in. But I hope that, answer your question. If not, I have a little bit of that. I think one of my blog posts about like, why you how to get into cybersecurity or why you weren't being successful getting interviews. And I kind of even go into more of that in my ebook. So I kind of have that process out where it's a little bit more streamlined in there.
So I like your answer, and obviously like education is important. I always tell people about education. Just so you know, and you probably know this, I don't have a background in college. I come from a non-traditional way of IT. Like I come from with just certifications and just learning on my own. I'm like self-taught in certain aspects of IT. So I have no college and I have no degree in IT, but I always go back to school. Like if you're gonna do like computer science degree, I'm like that definitely gonna help. Like school's gonna help you. And I always talk about like if you have money, then do it. If you don't have money, then you have to go the non-traditional way and just get certifications, right? Because at the end of the day, it goes back to finance, right? If you have money for it, and you cannot, if you cannot afford it, like you have family, right? You have a family and you cannot afford the budget, and you cannot afford the education, and it makes no sense for you to do that, right? So you have to have money for these things. If you don't have money, or you could get like I guess financial aid or something like that, then go for it. I definitely always tell people go get that education, go get something in college, go to school, get educated, go to WGU, pick something and do it because it's going to make you stand out. And then also the second thing that you talk about, which is very important, which I'm glad you mentioned it, is the fact that you should be trying to get some sort of experience while going to school. Because what happens is a lot of people, what they do is, and this is like, nobody really talks about this, or maybe some people talk about it, is that you need to get some sort of job experience or work experience while being in school. Because what happens is when you get over to the job market and you get a degree or you get something from school, you go out and everyone's asking for work experience, but you don't have it. That's the issue. So that's the reason why we do part-time internship or part-time IT on top of going to school to make yourself stand out. And you have a resume, you have something you could talk about on top of having the educational skills. You have the actual hands-on skills and you could talk about that and you could sell yourself. And then you go to the job market, people will take you more seriously versus someone that doesn't have anything on the resume. So I'm glad you brought that topic. Like it's important that you talk about that. It's very important. You're dropping gems right now. So I appreciate you actually mentioned that. So
yeah, I got bad advice when I was in school. They told me not to go to the career fair till like junior year, which I should have been going from since I was a freshman. But at the same time, they weren't even really showing CIS majors a lot of love back then, anyways. It was just a whole bunch. It was like a different time years ago. Then like remote work wasn't what it was now. It was just a lot differently. But if I knew what I knew now, I would just apply to everything. Me and my good friend of mine, we competed against the internship, like, and she ended up getting it. Shout out to her. But at the same time, like she would tell me, she's like, honestly, I'm not learning nothing. I only, to be truthful, I only wanted the internship because it paid $20 an hour at the time, and it was in the summertime. And I was currently working at Target, and that was way more than I was making at Target. So that's why I really wanted it. I didn't even care if I didn't learn anything or not.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The thing is that a lot of people go to school and then they don't get training at all, or they don't get job experience. And that's like the most misleading thing. Like when you go to the job market, like, how am I supposed to get job experience if I don't have experience? And then, I can have a whole conversation about that on another day, but that's just how it is. So you want to make sure that you actually get some sort of experience on the resume. So then when you go to the job market, people are like, okay, this guy actually knows what he's doing, or she knows what she's doing, or they have something on their resume versus not having absolutely nothing on the resume. So definitely it's important that you definitely do like volunteer work, internship, find the right mentor. The other thing you talked about, which is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very important. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. So make sure you
I was gonna say, as Lab Every Day says, who knows you?
Who knows you? Exactly. Right. So make sure you do the home labs. Make sure you build your connections on LinkedIn. Don't just add someone because you feel like it. Make sure you send them a message. Make sure you be creative with your messages and send someone a message, and then maybe take them out for coffee or tea or food or whatever, or virtual coffee, whatever, and then figure out what they do, what's the day in the life of that person, and see if you like to do that yourself.
And that's a big one. Those day in the life videos are super helpful. Like I've gotten so many people over, like my video's almost 2 years old now, and people just come go to it and they say, thanks for making this video, man. Knowing people making these videos, eating breakfast, taking a shower and stuff. I plan to actually make another one as soon as I'm done moving. I probably plan to do another work from home one. I did a little short the other day, like showing like how it is going into the office. I would love to probably do that at the office, but I don't want to ask them about it because I don't want them prying into what I do. So
yeah.
that's the only reason why.
Yeah.
Like at my old job, it would have been easy. I would have been had a day in the life in the office because it's just easier. I know how to blur everything out so they wouldn't have seen anything. It just would have just been me or some of my teammates in the office and working. So
no, I'm the same way. I'm not allowed to record in the office. I actually signed a contract about that before I got this job, so I'm not allowed to do any video recording in my work environment. But changing the topic, and I'm gonna obviously, like if I grab someone and I interview them, it's for a reason. It's because I like what they do. So I remember watching you on YouTube and I'm gonna go back a little bit. I remember watching you on YouTube when you had Asuma icon, the Asuma Naruto icon on YouTube, and I'm like, this guy likes Naruto just like me. And I was looking at your videos, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So I'm gonna share my screen. Tell me a little bit about your YouTube channel. Actually,
yeah, man. Oh, let's see. Let's go back to for people that don't know. Before that channel, I have another channel called Banco Boxing, was Banco Entertainment. And I have another like Asma type of person on that channel too. And I just said, man, I love doing this stuff. I love talking about this stuff. And I think it was the pandemic. And I think that was like probably the rise of like the channels. And I was just like, let's do it. Let me do it. I wasn't really worried about, like a lot of people right now worry about, oh, I need a camera, this and that. No, I just started with what I had. If you put up the first video, you'll see how that quality looks compared to like what I put out now. But I was like, let me tell my story. Let me start, selling my stuff. Let me help people, because one of the things I left out of my background is I also have a master's in IT management. And I initially went to grad school. I was like, well, I want to be a manager one day so I can hire people, that look like me or anybody else who represents like a low amount of percentage wise when it comes to like cybersecurity or whatever. But I quickly realized like that way probably wasn't going to let me be like as impactful as everybody as I wanted to be. So what I ended up doing was I said, let's start this YouTube channel. Also like with the consulting thing, I have always helped people. Like before I even made the site, before I even started charging anything, I was always helping people, whether they were in tech or they weren't in tech. And this has been far more, when I say fruitful, I'm not talking about money because I have not got rich off this yet. What does that say? I need to change the header. That's why I was messing up.
Got it. No, but I like what you do, and that's why I brought you on my channel. I know you do services. Tell me about your book, actually, now that I have you here, since I have you in person or in video. So
cool. You can click on the digital ebook thing. That way, I think it'll have like a little bit about it when you click on. If you click on the book, I think it'll tell you about. Like I think I got a thing on there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So on the back kind of tells you a little bit about like, my process. But yeah, so this book came about because I was doing a lot of consultations and I saw me answering like a lot of the same questions. And as you know, trying to do anything while you're also working full time and also full-time dad and other stuff, it's super hard. Yeah, I even get like the first couple of pages and stuff like you can look at this out the bottom.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool.
But so I was like, man, how do I help more people, without actually sitting down and talking to them? And so I came into the book. Like at first, and I actually have this coming to more of a course form because I've actually been working on some different things that I've been, instituting as well, like in my personal career, that where I can add it and add some more value. But I was like, the course may take too long. Let me just put this book out. And it's a short book. It might be like all of 50 pages with a lot of pictures. It's of me actually like stuff I did to get to where I my career, like actually did. Like you'll see my face on LinkedIn messages. Like I have the people's names like blacked out and stuff like that. But you'll see them reply, you'll see like, oh, this does work, or he did do this. So it's pretty much actionable advice that people can use to break in this career field.
No, man, I love your book, and I used to like I'm quiet about it, but I used to follow you with because I like Naruto. I'm a Naruto guy, and I'm a One Piece guy, and I like
I like One Piece too,
and I like One Punch Man and a bunch of other anime shows. So and Dragon Ball Z obviously can't Dragon Ball Z is like the best one, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, that's why I wanted to get you on my channels. I appreciate what you do, and obviously like if I like somebody, I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. I'm gonna put the links below, guys, so don't worry, it'll be in the end of the like it'll be in the video. But I appreciate like what somebody does, like I appreciate what you do, and hence why I invited you to my channel. At the end of the day, it's a community of people in IT, not just me, not just you. There's so many people, there's Black Heights, there's Keep It Techie, there's Professor Black Ops, there's Black Ops, the one Lightfoot, there's like so many Tech G, there's like so many YouTube content creators out there, and it's just that's just how it is. And Uncle Trey's over here too in chat, it's
yeah,
like
I've been seeing, shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him too. At the end of the day, it's an IT community, and I definitely, if I see something and like
I got shot like some of the women. I'm Lisa.
Women in Linux too, man.
Women in Linux.
Yes,
Tam.
yes, Tam. Yes.
It's yeah. I had to shout them out too because they're like the boys on Never Gets No Love. I shout out them because Lisa actually does a lot of day in the life videos where she's going to the wiring closets and stuff like that, working on that, and like that's important for somebody who want to do networking. Like if they want to do that, hey, look at her videos. She does it all the time.
I love was it the GPS? You heard of that channel? Azure Cloud GPS. She's another IT person that does IT YouTube videos on cloud stuff for free.
Yeah.
GPS. Women in Linux. She does Linux videos every weekend because she goes live and she randomly invites people in the crowd, and then they do like Linux and they go in depth with Linux, which is what I appreciate and she does it for free. Like I have it on my Discord as well. So like I always share your information, everyone else's information on Discord. I love like so many IT people and on YouTube, like they don't get the recognition they deserve. So I gotta bring people over to my channel sometimes. So
right. And I think it's dope because I remember, like I said, when I first started, I remember you and I was like, this dude channel is gonna blow. I don't even know. Like, I need you to like, do you remember how many subscribers you had in 2020? Because I remember seeing, I was like, man, this dude is doing.
I had like 9,000.
Yeah, I remember that, and I was telling my, I was thinking in my head, I said, man, go to Kevtech channel. If you want to like just learn how to like get in help desk, like go to Kevtech. Like I tell them that all the time, because you already have pretty much anything they got a question about is on there. They can go back and replay it and play by play and do the stuff. And I was like this dude's gonna blow up, and it's it's just always, I tell people like a lot of times people are just trying to do everything to blow up. But I was like, coming from like doing boxing, which I still love, but it's just too much to cover, and it's not really impactful as I would like it to be. I was never worried about like, get all these subs. Like, well, I haven't really made like an original video in a while, but like I'll probably say if you want to subscribe, but now just say hit the like button. As long as like my content stays good, that's all that matters, because it could be 10, 5, 15 years, and all of a sudden, a lot of people see it, which is fine. It's not like, of course, unless like, now you have the people that do the live streaming channels, and that's when they may get a lot of money. But just from YouTube, it's not that much money unless you have like a whole bunch of subscribers and you get like people to watch. So it's not really about the money. In fact, like I spend, more money on like editing my equipment or doing this and that, or like just doing different things to even get the message out. Like I just downloaded a different application called Descript to help me like with my reels and stuff. Like people follow me like on here. Like I started putting up my shorts and then my reels on Instagram to just add the titles to it, the captions to it, so people can read along to my 60-second reels and stuff like that. But just even those things, like I'm not like too concerned about that. Even people like they do coach for me, even when like the time limit is up. I still help them like in the Slack group. Like I have people right now who technically aren't clients, but I'm still helping them. And I'm trying to find out different ways to help them. Like there's a last recently one, like I was telling you earlier about when I have clients that do the SOC things. Like I have like 10 questions I ask them, and I just want to see how deep they can go on them. And then now what I've started doing is the last two, we went on Zoom and we recorded a session, and I just broke it down question by question and looked at it as if I was interviewing them. And, they gave them a lot of insight on interviews. And then this last one, I just did like, I used Camtasia and I just recorded it and just went through it. But it's that level of insight, that people need when they're trying to break in, because like I said, you can go find, like you can Google right now the top 20 SOC analyst questions. Some people ask those. Like when I interviewed with Ernst & Young like 2 years ago, they asked me a question that I knew they was going to already ask me because it's on that sheet. And I was like, that's stupid. I don't know why you asked me that. But that's fine. I normally tell people like, check that out too. But that doesn't mean much. Like it really doesn't mean much to me if you can memorize and answer all those questions correctly. I want to know, can you answer based on scenarios? Like earlier when we were talking about PS exec.
Yeah.
Or something like that. When we're talking about things like that, can you give me what you would do when you see that happen? Because we see that all the time. So that's why I like when I was helping my old manager with the interviews, because my questions were just based on what I seen every day and what I seen the level ones work on. So I'll ask some stuff like that, not trying to really grill them, but hey, I just want to know what you'll do about that. And I would normally pick the person who just probably answered the question best, or maybe they had a little bit better, which I'm surprised me and you didn't talk about it. We talked about it a little bit about Helpdesk, but or any job for that matter, but like soft skills and like just being
the
workaround.
Yeah, I do preach soft skills. I work a lot with executives. I'm actually I work a lot with C-level folks. So that's the reason, like even my current job, I work with C-level folks. And I never like, I don't know why, I don't know if it's a Kevin thing, but I always been with C-level folks, like all my other jobs too. Like I always work directly with C-level folks. I don't know why. I like it for some reason. I don't know. It's just,
I mean, and then with me, I told you where I work. I mean, it's the same thing. Like I'm having to interact with most we know in the finance industry, most people like the VPs, and then you got the managing directors and all these different people. Like you have to interact with them, or you're seeing them in email threads or stuff like that. So, though I want to say, for my position, I think they told me, my HCM guy told me it was like, no, my recruiter from Glowcoms told me it was like, I think 20 people was in for the role. I beat them out. And I think that was a big part of that was, of course, I got a technical background. My role per se isn't supposed to be as technical as I'm trying to make it be at work. I'm trying to push for it to be more technical. But I believe my soft skills got it there. And that's the thing we were talking about earlier, just to pivot, and some of you probably don't ask, like, to tell people now, like, hey, I left a company, I was at 3 years and started a whole new company, and I was nervous. I want to let people know that, like, you can always still be nervous before anything, no matter how long you've been doing it. Like even me, like 10 years in, nervous, just like, I'm a big sports guy. And I know they still get nervous. People think, oh, they can't get, man, boxers be nervous before every fight. But once the first punch is thrown, hey, it's good. Me, hey, once, the first real day happens, it's good, and just kind of always rely on like your fundamentals and you'll be fine. And I've got like, not me like actually being like a narcissist or self-gloating, but my old manager who retired, he's telling me like how many good compliments he got on me, or just me bringing in things I know from the past and just talking about it and giving all these different suggestions like really made a good impression on people. And I actually even talked to my managing director, what was it, Thursday afternoon, and we had a talk about some things, but he was like, yeah, man, I've been hearing great things about your involvement in the new ticketing system implementation, man. I want to thank you for that. So I want to just tell you, like, don't think whatever you're doing, whether your role, whatever, is too small or not, like, just keep doing it, doing investability, smile, be good to work around. You never know who's watching. A lot of that stuff impacts like how much like either a raise you're gonna get next year, your bonus, or like some places do like a cost of living adjustment, and if they like you enough, they can just give you the max. They can give you a like, cost of living adjustment. Like my manager used to stay doing that for me. Like she would just give me the max she can give me every year to for my cost of living adjustment. So that was just some things I want to touch on for you before you asked.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree with you because it's like with IT is especially when you do a job interview and you're interviewing someone, and you also when you're working with someone, you could tell straight off the bat if that person cares about you, like they genuinely care about your IT issue. So there are some people that you could tell that they care about their IT issue. Like I worked on someone's computer like this week, and they had an IT issue, and I fixed it. And then they told my manager, like, and I'm still new. I'm still new in this job. They told my manager, like, that guy, Kevin, he actually cares about, like, he's not like, oh, I'm just gonna walk away, just make a ticket and walk away, right? Like, you got to show that you actually genuinely care about the person. So if you have like the people skills and empathy, and you're just like very good with interacting with people, and you know how to break it in a non-technical way, people will love you because like you're not getting technical with it. Like if you get too technical, people don't like that. They just want to know if it works. It's just
Definitely.
how it is.
And I just thought about something like that. The skill set that comes from help desk of like immediately being able to read the room and knowing exactly how to handle whatever person you're on the phone with. Like sometimes a person's like super mad, you kind of gotta de-escalate a little bit. It's like, because you know they're not really mad at you, they're mad at whatever they're trying to do is not working.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just kind of got to reassure them, it's like, you know, hey, I'm gonna help you. We're gonna get there. And you know, hopefully by the time the end of the call is, you're able to help them. Now, sometimes it may be something you can't do, and you have to say, document it and send it to somebody else. But that's definitely a good skill because it helps you, you know, even sometimes in your relationship, like, okay, let me take a step back. What's the real issue here? And that's how you got to figure it out, because help desk, a lot of people call in, they don't even know why they're calling in. They say, well, that blah, 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 it's not working. So once you start asking a lot of these questions, oh, okay. So you can't get Outlook emails in, and well, yeah, but I'm not using all my storage. Oh, but you got large attachments in your mailbox. Let's archive some of this stuff and get it out here, and let's see if you can get some emails. Most of the time, it works.
Yeah, that's how it is. Just figuring out the right answers, like the right questions, and just ask the right questions, and then you break it down, and then you figure it out from there, and then you de-escalate the problem. And working with people, and obviously, you know, what's the best thing you could do is if you can't fix the problem, tell them I'm going to escalate the issue to someone else, and then I'll follow up with you later. So then you escalate the issue. You have the other, because you can't. Sometimes you're not going to have access to do certain things, right? So then what you do is this is another conversation for another day, but you build a relationship with your department and other departments, and then you basically take it over to the other department, and like, man, like you ping them, right? Like, man, can you fix this issue real quick for this person? And I don't have access to this. Can you do it real quick? And like, yeah, I'll get you a beer later. We'll go eat later or whatever. I got you later. Don't worry about it. And then they fix the issue, and then you follow up with the user, right? Or the client, and you tell them, okay, is working now? Oh, it's working, Kevin. Okay, good. And they appreciate that. So it's important.
They always do. And I mean, hey, you just gave a nugget on if somebody wants to move out of help desk, whatever. It's like that networking part of just people and you know, reaching out to that guy that got the access. You can, hey man, you need help documenting this process or whatever they want to do. Hey, can I watch you do that? And, you know, keep on bugging them or whatever. And by the time you kind of know how to do his job, you help with some documentation, a role comes up and he tells you, he said, hey, this guy's worked with me. He knows how to do it. Like, just bring him on.
Definitely.
You successfully got out of help desk.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up over here. Let's see if anyone has any questions in chat. You can't see it, but I can see it in Zoom chat. Let's see here. Hackers that help learning. He sent you a shout out.
Shout out to them.
Let's
look at the
here.
YouTube chat. So if they see me looking down, I'm looking at
the yeah, that's fine. I see him. If anyone has any questions for you, please let me know. We'll keep you here for a little bit. I don't want to keep you the whole day either, because I know you got things you got to do too. So unless you want to make it unless you want to be the first one on YouTube to make it a 24/7 chat.
That would be dope, man. Trust me, I got a whole bunch of ideas. So once I get like my like dedicated like space, like, man, I'll probably end up going like live, probably live some more as well, just to connect with my subs. I think that's a good thing. It's like just try to connect with them more, like being live more, because most of my stuff is premieres. But sometimes I'm in the chat, sometimes I'm not. I just try to put it out there whenever the analytics says the best.
Yeah, it's like, when will you have Henri back? Okay, all right. Yeah, I think.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I know I gotta get you over there. We may just make that a live stream on StreamYard to where everybody just comes over there, and we'll bring it over there. And it'll probably be longer because definitely we can actually even talk more about different help desk things, as well as just your journey in that, like being able to. And that's why I say some people are actually meant to do certain things and some people should not do them. Like, you are meant to be a people person. Some people aren't. Like,
with me is I'm a very likable guy. I just approach everyone, and that's the funny thing you say that is I got into not to change the topic, not to be random. I got into a dispute with somebody on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn could be good, LinkedIn could be bad. Same thing with Twitter and all these other applications, right? Sometimes you have like bad people, negative people, and you have toxic environments, right? And I had this person, like, he's like, "Oh, you're just a YouTube guy to just do videos for likes, blah blah blah." And then I messaged him directly, and then I phone called him, and I called him, and he's like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting you to call me," and we just started talking, and then I just started giving him IT advice. I'm like, I'm at the end of the day, I'm human, so like if you want to interact with me, I mean, I'm human. I'm here to call. If you want to call me, be my guest and call me. I gave you my number too. I told you, just call me anytime. Like, right. I'm human, so it's just
we're all very accessible. I mean, from now, sometimes people reach out to me on Twitter and I don't get it because I don't follow them. But LinkedIn is an easy way. I mean, even if you comment on something, or I'll normally get back to you. And I reach out to people sometimes too. If I mean, I try to give, sometimes I don't always give unsolicited advice, but if I see a pattern and I see somebody, I'm trying to help that person, I try to. Now, whether they take it or not, that's not on me. Yeah. So, but look, trust me, man, I think my video right now on my channel about like the whole thing, when I was trying to tell people like they want these type of jobs, but not the skills to get the money. Like, people can see how Twitter can be. It's definitely a war zone. So
yeah, it is a war zone over there.
But I mean, it's definitely cool. But I didn't know like you were that big of a fan of Naruto. I've actually been watching. I just read the latest chapter for Boruto, and
Boruto, man. I don't know, man.
No, it's you know what, dude. Kishimoto's back writing it now. It's pretty
good.
It's pretty good. The manga's good, and they're fleshing even the anime now. I think he's back over the anime. He's fleshing some things out, like some issues that that happened with him doing Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. He's fixing some of those things. So it started off shaky, but I want to say once like Kawaki came around is when it got better. Like all the stuff like Kashin Koji and Jigen, Ishiki. It's pretty good. It definitely takes like a lot of somewhat of some cues a little bit from DBZ because they got cyborgs on here now. So.
Yeah, it's with me. I love all the characters like Itachi, Kakashi, Pain.
Kakashi's my favorite.
Yeah, I love Kakashi. Naruto and Sasuke. The Shippuden. I seen all the Shippuden episodes. I seen all that already. And even the manga. I used to read the manga. I used to be reading the manga in high school, and I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen next?
Yeah. So we might be around the same age range. How old are you?
Me?
Yeah.
32.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 30. So I used to read the mangas like right after football games. Once I get home off the bus and take my pad stuff out, I get home and the new manga will be up and I read it. I remember those days.
Yeah, I was a big fan of watching Naruto. I love One Piece. I love Bleach.
Yeah. I almost caught up with One Piece, but One Piece, if I'm gonna be honest, Naruto's my favorite, but One Piece has the best story.
Yeah. Yeah, and then One Piece right now, it's crazy right now. I don't want to say any spoilers right now, but One Piece is insane right now. What's going on with One Piece is just
I bet it is. See, man, you should start a Kevtech React channel to like your anime stuff.
Yeah, I watch One Piece. I like One Punch Man. I like a few other shows because I'm on Disney Plus now, and I know Daredevil's coming back too.
Oh,
So I'm
really?
excited about that. That's why I got Disney Plus because I'm into Daredevil and I'm into the Punisher as well.
I like Punisher.
And
I heard Meta Knight's pretty good.
yeah,
I mean, not Meta Knight. I'm not sorry. I'm thinking about Kirby, Moon Knight.
Moon Knight, yeah. Moon Knight is really good, really good. I saw 3 episodes. I'm like, man, this is good. I thought this was gonna be bad, but it's actually quite good.
That makes me think about watching Invincible that was on Amazon. The boys are supposed to be coming back. That was good. And surprisingly, to get back on the anime talk just a little bit, I actually like Attack on Titan now. I didn't used to like it. I didn't used to like the story. I thought it was stupid, but then it threw a wrench at me. And I'm a person, I like stuff I can't predict, which is why I was a huge fan of Seven Deadly Sins because of stuff that came out that I didn't foresee. I like Demon Slayer because I love the animation. I'm very behind on Black Clover, but I do like Black Clover. I just had to watch it a super long time either.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Uniyasha and Samurai Champloo and Runi Keshin.
Yeah, man. My older cousins, they would always be watching like Kenshin or what else? Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal Alchemist, all those. Like they used to watch those. I have to go back whenever I get a chance to. Oh, one of my favorites that I tell people to start on because it's like short but good. I always say, you know what? Hey, it's like 100-some episodes. Go watch Yu Yu Hakusho. Like that's one of my top 5.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you ever seen a death battle between Hiei and Sasuke, but that's
no. I do watch epic rap battles and I watch I watch epic rap battles. I watch death battles. I watch different things. I'm all over the place as well.
No, because when I used to work in the sock, I had to like have some on or whatever. So I was like, it messed up right. Like it's no way like Sasuke's immortal. He's not supposed to be able to beat Hiei. I think that's a good matchup for him.
Yeah, because of my not to go back into IT, but like go back to the topic. My CEO, he's from Japan, and my last job, not my current job, my last job, they're from Japan, and they're into anime. So we talk about anime.
That's a good way to get a raise
with the CEO, man. It's so random. I'm like, all right, whatever. We'll go with that. We'll go with the conversation, and
right.
I'll have a wine with him. Like we'll drink wine in the conference room. I'll have wine with him and we'll just talk for hours and hours and hours about different things. So
that's dope.
Yeah. But I don't know. No one has any questions. They talk about anime in this chat.
Right. Yeah, that's what I see.
That's funny. I'm a big Batman fan too. I'm a Batman fan too. I got the cup right over here. So I love me Batman.
Speaking of, did you see the new Batman?
No, I didn't see it. I heard some mixed reviews about it.
So it's on. I don't know if you have HBO Max. It's on HBO Max now. It's long, so if you got energy, you can watch it. It's good. I think a lot of people aren't actual fans of. First of all, they compare it to like Christian Bale, which is like to me one of the worst Batman voices ever. I think Ben Affleck was a better Batman than him too. It's good. I don't know if anybody's ever played any of the, like the Arkham City games. It reminds you of that. Like it made me want to play all of them. So I went back and beat Asylum, Arkham City, and now I'm playing Arkham Knight. Like you're gonna see, like it's pretty good. Like because Batman is actually having to do his actual detective work in this movie, and it's dark, so it's not what people are accustomed to seeing. Like most of the old ones, Batman wasn't having to figure out that much stuff. It was pretty, made for like good acting and casuals and cool, funny stuff. This one isn't like that. So it is for fans. And I know they'll probably do a second one. It'll be pretty good, but I don't know what's going on with the DC universe, but it was great.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Someone was asking me about how important is good for Mac. Like some companies pay really good if you do Mac support. Depends where you live, obviously, but right. Mac is good. I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm actually Apple certified. So
yeah, I have a Mac, and I'm planning to get like it's either a Mac Mini or Mac Studio as well, just to even help more with my editor and stuff like that. Only because I'm still trying to stay with Final Cut Pro, and I just like it. It does work with all my stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
I think that's pretty much it as far as Premiere Pro. Just is a memory hogger.
Yeah. I'm a big anime fan. So I was like, I saw you, and I saw you had the Asuma background. I'm like, oh, he has awesome background.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so the funny thing is, if you ever did want something like that drawn for you, my cousin drew those for me. He's like a year older than me, so he's been all my life. He's always been like able to draw.
Oh, that's good.
Always. He's actually working on his own manga. I need to ask him what's the update on it.
Nice.
So I can probably like put that link or something on my page and
awesome.
Get people to check that out.
You're on my page, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, really?
I have a website.
Really?
Yes.
Cause see, I have a partners page, but I need to like put that that link and I can put it on there, and I need to make some promo type stuff that I do from I use Social Bee and Buffer. And Social Bee will just, if you notice, like if you pay me my page like around the same time every day, Social Bee will post like my playlist or whatever. And so that's doing all that. Yeah, automation is the way to go.
You're actually on my page. So you're Professor Black Ops on my page. You're on my page. Professor Messer is on my page. I have a bunch of people, bunch of free resources on my page. But you're actually on my page. I put you there. So
yeah, I definitely need that link so I could put it on my stuff, and then I can also put it on the partners page, and then that way I could make that also a heading on there.
Yeah, and I'm actually like I have you on page, and I have because I'm part of I don't do cybersecurity, but I'm a partner with different cybersecurity platforms. So if you go to their website and you click on partners, I'm actually there. I'm actually there with a bunch of different platforms, and I work with Eric Berlarno, and I saw you have him on YouTube. I'm actually friends with Eric.
Yeah, I don't know if I sent him the link or something like that, but we are going to eventually collab because we are friends on Twitter. I actually, people here first. I don't know if me and him are going live or not, but me and Cyber Insight will be shooting a podcast episode on Monday afternoon. So JB is pretty dope. So
yeah. I'm working with Eric. I'm working with Eric and Derek. They're in the other cybersecurity Cyber Warriors studio. I'm friends with him too, and I'm friends with. I finally met. Was it Devin? Alpha Cyber.
Oh yeah. Davin.
Davin. Sorry, Davin. Yeah, actually, I'm on that Discord with him, with Valley, Cyber Valley. I don't know what's it called.
Yeah.
I'm on that Discord as well.
Should I join Discord again? Like,
you should.
I used to have it on my phone. Like I was on this one Discord from like Twitter, and then it was just a whole bunch going on. So I got off the Discord, and then I just got my Slack space. But yeah, I mean, you can send it to me, and then I will. I'll join. I try to be as active as I can.
Yeah, because on my Discord I have 4,600 members.
Wow.
On Discord, and then I'm on other Discords as well. So I'm on 45 other Discords. So that's, you see me running around. But I actually met a lot of cybersecurity people. It's just small. IT security is small. Like everyone knows each other. Like it's very interesting. And I'm actually part of Neil Bridges' cybersecurity Discord as well. Neil Bridges, I don't know if you know him. Neil Bridges, Heath Adams, TCM Discord. I'm on that Discord. Simply Cyber, I'm on his Discord as well.
Oh yeah. Shout out to him. I was on his channel. I gotta get him on mine. He's blowing up too.
He's I'm all over the place. So that's what it is. But anyway, I'll let you guys go. Or actually, Maya had a question before we go. What entry-level security positions would you recommend for someone?
That's a really good question, but also a question I always base off of what does a person like to do.
It says wanting to get into DFIR.
Okay, digital forensics.
Digital forensics
is actually something hard to break into because it's funny. If you watch the episode that I did do with DJX Alpha,
I was there. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, if you watch that video, he actually talks about how he wants to get into digital forensics. And it is one of those things hard. Now, they have different tools you can download, build a lab environment to do that. But I would say to probably get into that, I would say maybe try to see if you can land an entry-level incident response role, or maybe an entry-level SOC role, pivot to IR, then pivot into forensics. I think that's one way you probably can, because like they're always doing like forensics is pretty cool. Like I did a little bit of some of those labs, like do that stuff, but at the same time, they always asking for those tools. And when I tell you that's in demand right now, like if you have those skills, like you can name your price and make whatever type of money you want to if you knew how to do digital forensics, like for real.
Yeah, someone answered in chat, John Hammond. And actually, John Hammond, I'm on his Discord too, actually.
You know what's funny? I did the reaction to John Hammond and what's the guy named Bumgall? I don't want to
David Bumble, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I wasn't even familiar with either of them content, but I was like, this guy is smart. And I was like, this really sounds like how to be a pen tester, but it's like how to get into cybersecurity. And I want to say he actually commented when I shared it on LinkedIn. I think he probably, but it was just funny because I looked him up. I was like, oh, this guy is actually somebody. Well, I already knew that. I want to keep on butchering his name because you just told me.
David Bumble.
David Bumble. I already knew he was somebody because he had all those like subscribers. I was like, man, I was like, this was cool.
I love David Bumble. And I'm on his Discord too.
Yeah, it's a speaking of, it's like I've reacted to what's it? Is it? I want to say it's her name, Sarah Life and Style.
Sarah Life and Style.
I'm trying to think if that's her name. Let me look real quick on my channel because she's a good resource, especially like for for women. I have like my reaction videos.
Yeah, there's some really good YouTube content creators from women in tech and cybersecurity. I'm subscribed to. Like Monica Talks Cyber.
Yeah, I've replied to her for. Let me see.
Yeah, and Nicole.
Gerald Alger is pretty good.
Gerald Alger is good. Yeah.
No, her name is. I'm sorry, it's not. It's Sandra Tech and Lifestyle.
Yeah.
She's blown up too.
I just joined Jack's X YouTube channel, Outpost Gray. CW Infosec is another one that I like. Cover 6 Solutions.
Cover 6. You were talking about, you were talking about Tyrone. That's what I said.
I love Tyrone. Man. I love
my friend Eric teaches for Cover 6.
He is on one of the Discords I'm part of. So I told you got to come back to Discord, man. Come back to Discord, man.
Yeah. I mean, invite me. Like I'm normally, like I said, I'm in the loop. Yeah. If anybody, let me see if anybody.
Dom's Tech Chat.
Yeah. Shout out to Dom. I think she just got I got to.
Yes.
Check back in with her, but I believe she just finally landed a different role because she was trying to pivot.
I love her videos too. I watch her videos too. I love so many good content creators. Like if I go to my YouTube channel and I have so many tabs open here, I even have like people in fitness as well, like so many. So
yeah, same here. I got some I actually got a fitness plan that I use because of that. I'm trying to actually share this playlist real quick so people can actually find these content creators. Let me go right here.
I'll probably sit here and I'll probably make a YouTube video of all the content creators that I follow and all the Discord channels I follow in one day. I'll probably sit here and make a video on that.
I probably could do it from right here. Yeah, I got some ideas. I need to script out. Like, let's see. I think that right here. Playlist.
Yeah, it's like so many. Like, Zach Hill. I'm friends with Zach Hill. From IT Career Questions, I'm friends with him.
Yeah, he's checked in on a couple of my videos too. That's the thing I tell people. I was like, the
YouTube space is very small.
Very small. Like him, I think I felt like I was really doing it when him and then Dewan Lightfoot just popped up, on my stuff. I was like, man, they saw my stuff. So I was like, hey, I'm doing good enough. Here's my reaction playlist right here. I just put it in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, put it in YouTube chat with these guys. Yeah, I like Zach. I really like. I really like Zach, and he lost a lot of weight too, and he's taking care of his health now. I'm happy for him. So, super. Yeah,
that's major because I always tell people it's not easy.
It's not all about IT, man. You got to take care of your health too. I'm
trying to see did my link actually go in there? Because it
doesn't look like it went through. What happened?
Did it block the link from going?
It doesn't see like it's blocked.
I'm gonna try it again.
Try it again.
So I just went after hackers that help learning.
Yeah, hackers that help learning. I like that guy.
Okay, so yeah, it's not popping up. So
that's weird.
Let me see something. I probably can try to send it to you in Zoom and see if you can post it.
Top 5 rappers. It's funny.
So see if you can pop that in there. See if that works.
Oh yeah. I remember this playlist. It's a very good playlist. I'll put it in there for you.
Yeah, and I've been actually searching for more. I mean, even though the people that's in there like always make like good content to react to, honestly, like
yeah,
especially like just the different things. And I started to do that too, to niche my way into something that everybody isn't doing in the space, the reactions, because what a lot of people don't know is like what's good information, what's bad information. So that's my way of also saying like I agree or I don't agree, like necessarily what somebody says. And it's proved to be helpful to people just because a lot of people, if you don't know, you just don't know.
No, there are people out there that I get a little frustrated. They're very misleading.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about that today, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I definitely know, and that's why I get flat for on Twitter. People will come for me just because I want people to be honest, but
yeah, really, I like honest and respectful people that know what they're talking about. It's just like so much misleading information out there that people assume you could get the bag with no experience and stuff like that. It takes time.
Well, yeah, man, this is the rise of 3 months and you'll do that. Like, don't even, you know what? We had a stream on that. That'll probably be just a fun stream just to talk about. Hopefully the detractors. I will probably send them the link to speak your piece so you can come up and pretty much prove that I'm wrong. So I might do that too.
Definitely.
But, let me see what time it's 12. Okay, yeah, we almost made it to the end.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here because I actually have I have to jump on another stream and another YouTube channel. So
okay.
So anyway, guys, I thank you guys for joining today. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you guys have a good Saturday, a good weekend. Thank you for coming to talk today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Much love, man. I appreciate it. I need to get you again at some point. Actually, I need to do I'll probably do a happy hour or a group chat with a bunch of YouTube content creators all together in one on my YouTube channel at some point. I'll probably do that. So yeah, we definitely work on that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, trust me, I got a lot of stuff in the works.
And everyone said thank you. Everyone said thank you in chat.
Yeah, tell them I said thank you for tuning in. I appreciate everybody. If you want to reach me, you know how to get to me. All my contact stuff is on my channel.
And you have any final words for anyone? Like any final words for anyone that's watching today for new techs?
Yeah, just don't give up. You never know. Like you might be right at that breaking point to reach that level that you're trying to get to. Sometimes everybody's path is going to be different. Don't look at anybody else. Comparison is a thief of joy. Get tunnel vision and just keep focusing on your end goal, and you'll be all right.
Got it. Awesome, man. All right, guys. I'm going to close this out. Let me close this out. Hope you guys have a good one in the stream right over here.
Cool deal.
Dismiss that.